Hey guys, did you know that IB Pokemon Infinite Fusion with breedable fusions only- Wait. What? To bring some holiness back into this run, we'll be naming ourselves Chastity. I spelt that wrong, didn't I? We begin our journey faced with the important task of picking our starter, since it'll likely be at the forefront page of our Rule 34 bait team. I ended up choosing Aipom because, well, as we fuse it into Monkey the Eani, I think you can see why. Also, it has the most potential. I'll let you decide what you think I mean when I say potential. We go against our rival, Discord Mod, who had been ogling Monkey for a while now. There's no appropriate way to describe this battle, so my Monkey kept pounding his chin dial until it couldn't get up anymore. So yeah. We won! Now then, while we play Errand Boy for Professor Oak, now's probably a good time to explain how this run's gonna work. I have boxes of Lopunny, Gardevoir, and Vaporeon because, well, you know why by the title. To make up for their high base stat totals in the earlier section of the run, I'm setting level caps to be the lowest level Pokemon the gym leader has. I can't use healing items in battle, I set wild encounters to have a lower stat range than trainers, and the standard NUZLOCKE rules of permadeath and 1 capture per new area. Anyways, let's get back into this thing. Oh, that was unfortunate timing. On our way out of Pallet Town, we first went into Route 1 to get our first encounter in Meryl, who we fused with Lopunny into Hole Up the Meani, cause you gotta let it cook to reach its full potential. After passing Viridian City on Route 2, we caught a Shednup, which we'll only be allowed to use one part of the fusion for, so after sacrificing Swinub to the eternal nothingness, the Shedinja fused with Gardevoir to make Spider Mommy the Gardinja. Really appealing to whatever the fetish version of arachnophobia is, and finally we caught a Cleffa in Viridian Forest to fuse with Lopunny to make Milf the Cleffunny. For, well, self-explanatory reasons. After getting those fusions and passing through Viridian Forest, we finally arrived at Pewter City. Honestly, I just wanted to pull up and say hi to my fellow heartbroken boy Brock. After all, I got rejected by Erica in my last run, and he got rejected by, well, every woman. But as soon as I showed him my team, he just lashed out in, I don't know, rage, jealousy, and here we are now, I guess. He opened with Magable, which had Dragon Rage of all things. This could have been a run ender. Luckily, Spider Mommy has Wonder Guards, so we were able to suck it off with a couple of Absorbs. Polydoof came out next, and although it definitely lasted longer than Magable, Spider Mommy wasn't satisfied. But it still got the job done eventually thanks to her Wonder Guard and Absorb technique. After winning the battle, Brock gave me his hard rock badge, and we headed over past Route 3 to see what all the fuss was about in Mount Moon. As it turns out, Team Rocket is experimenting with triple fusion? Triple fusion? I think they misunderstood me when I said I'd be willing to help them. Probably having to do with some sort of PTSD with evil organizations and prepubescent kids, because they started attacking me. We beat the scientists up and Team Rocket decided to leave without me, but hopefully they're able to accomplish their goal of creating the ultimate breedable fusion for all of our sakes. During all this battling though, Milf evolved into Cleffunny, whose design fits even better with the nickname now that she's built like a Pixar mom. As we exited Mount Moon and entered Cerulean City, I caught Discord Mod lacking and staring at my Pokemon from behind, so we battled him. He opened with Biba, who took a lot of water pulses from Milf, like way too many. He then switched into Seepix, so I sent in Monkey, which was easily able to take it out with some quick attacks. Chinol came out next, so I sent in Hole Up in response, which defeated Chinol with quick attacks too. Belgon was last, which got the same quick attack treatment. After the battle, Hole Up evolved, and there you go. This is what you get if you let it cook. I'll let you decide if it was worth it. From there, I decided to take on the gym. For legal reasons that I found out the hard way in my last playthrough, I can't make any of the jokes I've been making in this video so far in Misty's gym. So, for that reason, this is just a normal, consensual battle. She opens with Gaorb, which defeats Milf, mainly because I was playing really recklessly, leading to our first death. Porygon comes out next, which leaves Spider Mommy to be able to take it out pretty easily with some disarming voices. With that, we earned our second badge, but at such a high cost. The gravity of the death in a Pokemon game really settled in for me, as it wasn't just my first death of the run, but my first death in my first Nuzlocke, and that shit hurts. That said, maybe the world just wasn't ready for Milf's Pixar mom hips, so in the box she rests, gone before she could become a gilf. We proceeded through Nugget Bridge and Route 4, beating up the trainers along the way so that we could get into Bill's house. He took one look at my Pokemon and went, "There's no laws against the Pokemon, Batman. I can do whatever I want with it, especially if I'm a Pokemon too," and then proceeded to turn himself into a Pokemon. However, I threatened to report him to the police for Pokemoniality, so he gave me his cruise ticket as hush money. Before leaving Cerulean City, I rounded out a team of 6 using some of the encounters we got along the way. I evolved the Bonsly I caught from Route 3 into a Sudowoodo, and combined it with a Gardevoir to make Body Pillow. I guess you can't breed with a pillow, but honestly some of y'all be wildin' for real. I combined the Riolu I got from Route 4 with a Gardevoir to make Furbait, because it's furry, and it'll bait the furries in more ways than one. And from the Weedle I caught back in Mount Moon that's now a Beedrill, I fused it with Vaporeon to get Fetish, because this has gotta appeal to someone, I think. I also refused Monkey since Q-Charm never working because of the fusion being genderless just felt really bad. With our new team trending on whatever your favorite site is, we headed to Vermilion City to hop on the cruise with the ticket we got from helping Bill. I figured it would be a good money-making opportunity to give all these old rich people a private show in their rooms with my Pokemon, and it was. They were practically making it rain dollar bills on my Pokemon. After satisfying our customers, we headed towards the captain's quarters, only to be stopped by Discord mod who probably overheard the sounds coming from the cruise riders' rooms and wanted to get in on the action. He opens with Corlu, which takes a few of Furbait's magical leaves before going down. He sends out Omamar next, so I used Monkey. However, its sludges are too much to handle, so I had to use Body Pillow to take it out with confusion. His Shroom Vesta comes out again against my Holeup, which was an admittedly poor decision from me, but Holeup's stab, huge power boosted quick attacks are too much for it to handle. Lanoh, his starter, comes out last, so I leave it to Fetish to handle. It kept using Bubble Beam against Fetish even though it has Water Absorb, so Fetish was able to take it out with Bug Bite eventually. With this win, we're able to enter the captain's quarters, where I let my team give him a full body massage, which he ended up liking so much that he taught me how to cut. With this, we can now enter Lieutenant Surge's gym. I always pegged him to be a very pent-up man given he's a veteran. I mean, there's only so much two hands can do out on the field. As a way of showing my thanks for his services to the Kanto region, I let him release some pent-up tension by letting my team service him with a battle. He opens up with Kufkata against my Fetish. Why'd I word it like that? Anyways, a couple of Water Pulses is able to finish it off pretty easily. Sandmine is next, and out of fear of an electric type move I send out Monkey, but I ended up having to switch it out after taking too many mirror shots. This let Fetish come in and get the finishing blow using its Water Pulse. His ace, Giratar, comes out, so I opt to use Holeup. A couple of huge power boosted Aqua Tails later, and we were able to finish it off and win us our 3rd gym badge. As we moved along in our journey, I wanted to make some adjustments into our team. With an Ekans I caught in Diglett's cave that I evolved into Arbok, I fused it with a Vaporeon to get Mia to replace Fetish. While it doesn't look breedable, I think of it like that acid girl from My Hero. On Route 9 we got blessed with a Curlia that I combined with a Lopunny to create Incel the Kirani, because I know this is what you all wanted if you made it this far into the video. I replaced Spider Mommy with Incel because I wanted to use it for a later fight. Even after making Incel Flash, it took a bit of searching around to find our way out, but after getting a gift honage encounter, we eventually got out and made our way into Lavender Town. The only thing to do here right now is to head into Pokemon Tower and have Discord mod check in on the development of my Pokemon. Wait, what? He opens with Leafshire, which Mia is able to take out with a couple of acids. His starter comes out next and gets Monkey way too low for comfort, so I send in Incel. I knew Incel had Trace, which could trace its Volt Absorb for some healing when it used an electric move, and this gave it the flexibility to spam Magical Leaf to finish it. Whimsanoir follows up, so I use Mia to use Acid a bunch of times until it faints. His final Pokemon is Clefnod, so I sent in Body Pillow. I had to trust that I could work around Counter and Mirror Coat, and luckily I was able to navigate that rocky ship and win the battle. Just as we were about to leave, we overhear Team Rocket demanding a man make them a Master Ball. If you ask me though, I think a Master Ball to catch a Gardevoir, Vaporeon, and Lopunny is a bit overkill, but I decided to head over to Celadon City to try and help them out. Ah yes, Celadon City. My favorite city in the game, for no particular reason. After scouring the city, I eventually found Team Rocket in the sewers, so I had to take this opportunity to find their boss to let him know I want in on his plan. Erica showed up and wanted to stop them for some reason. Now I'm not saying I'm a simp, but I had to make her believe I wanted to stop them too, so I played along for this bit. Erica really got me acting up. She makes me believe that I'm no better than Discord mod. And this is all to say, get yourself someone that makes you Discord mod all over them. Whatever that means. Anyways, Erica, being the queen that she is, got to Giovanni before I did. But she lost to him. So, because I have my priorities straight, I had to beat him to show her how cool I am. He sends out Houndrock first, which Mia is able to easily take out with a few water pulses. Zoyard comes out next and is taken out by a singular jump kick from Hola. Clefsec comes out last, so I spam acid with Mia to finish the battle. And with that, I successfully showed off to Erica. Wait, but now they'll never let me help them. Shit. I'm sure if I explain the situation to them later, they'll understand. Before battling Erica, Monkey evolved into Ambiuni, which looks like she really only hits legs at the gym. Incel evolved into Gardani. No. Guys. Stop. Behave yourselves. And Furbait evolved into Lucavore to appease all of you submissive furries out there. With our newly evolved team, we headed straight into the gym. See, my plan was to use manipulation tactics and make her jealous with my Rule 34 team, which in turn will make her want me more. Clearly she didn't like this and begun to battle me. Erica leads with Bulbacue, who gets one shot by Mia's acid spray. Clefairy comes out and can only take 2 more acid sprays than the Bulbacue. Celeryl is her last Pokemon, so I wanted to spice it up and use Monkey. But it got taken down to half health, so I switched to Hole Up to finish it with a return, securing us our 4th gym badge and a slap across our face. Moral of the story, manipulation tactics don't work. Before continuing on our journey, I wanted to make a small adjustment to our team. Body Pillow, while it is a funny gag, doesn't really fit the bill for Breedable per se. Granted, neither does Mia, but we need some Vaporeon representation. With this in mind, I took the Shinx we caught earlier in the power plant and evolved it into Luxray to combine with Gardevoir to make Damimami the Luxvore, cause she definitely looks like she'd be into giving you orders. A Pekinja I caught back in Rock Tunnel was unfused, evolved into Raichu, then fused back with a Vaporeon to get Freaky the Vaporchu, cause, the little static or whatever might go crazy, you know? Anyways, I opted to use Freaky for the same reason why Mia is on the team. Now that we've done everything in Celadon City, except for Erica, we head back to Lavender Town to bust on some ghosts. Wait, no, just bust some ghosts. As we reached the top of the tower, I heard a ghost girl come behind me. She sent out a level 40 Ryu lure, which one-shotted Mia with Psychic. I totally forgot that Mia is a poison type and we now suffer a huge loss to our team's power. I sent in Hole Up to take revenge on it with a couple of Aqua Tails. At the top of the tower, the old man told me Team Rocket has the Master Ball and that I have to love my Pokemon, and I was like, whoa, calm down there, old man, those are some very choosy words when my team looks like this. As we left the tower, we had to lay Mia to rest right next to MILF, as a reminder of my past failures and blunders. With a gaping hole in our team, I chose to take Fetish back on the team for now. We made our way down to Route 12, put our mouth on the old man's rod to get our Route 12 encounter, which happened to be a Moltres of all things. For fairness reasons though, I'm gonna hold off on using it. You know, it's understandable why Janine couldn't, ninja her way across the bridge or something against the Moltres, so after a pit stop to heal my Pokemon, we now proceed to my least favorite part of the game, the Route 12, 13, 14, and 15 stretch. While I suffer in the background trying to avoid the trainers as much as I can, congrats, you've made it pretty far into this video. Since you've made it this far already, you should consider seeking professional help. Like, come on now, I'm doing this for shits and giggles, but the Pokemon ain't that attractive. Oh, would you look at that timing. We've made it to Fuchsia City. We entered the gym, and after getting through Koga's invisible maze, we go straight into the battle with him. He leads with Kecleigh, which has color change, so Freak used Surf, then Thunderbolt to get a super effective hit on it. Omegar came out next, which got one-shot by Thunderbolt. Next was Lamplea, which Freak took out with a couple of Surfs, but it was now in the red. So I swapped into Fetish against his Magtom. We almost lost Fetish, who was left with 3 HP, but it was able to get its last Surf in to finish the battle. He gave us the standard 5th gym badge and TM as our reward, but I knew there was a real prize in store for us. His daughter. Just kidding, it was the HM from his daughter for strength because I had the strength to be a decent human being. Our next step was to try and get our 6th gym badge at Saffron City. As I was trying to get into this city, this grunt seemed pretty disgruntled that I was trying to get in, which can only mean one thing. Team Rocket is throwing me a surprise welcome party! They've just been acting cold so I wouldn't suspect a surprise party. I just had to find the boss and personally thank him. I headed into the big building at the center of the city and was greeted by a maze. I think the theme of the surprise party was active hostage situation, but it was really fun. They had teleport pads, believable hostage and bad guy actors, beds for when I got tired, and even a room full of gifts. Eventually, I found the boss man and went to thank him, but I was stopped by Discord mod who wanted to fulfill his selfish desires. He sent out Dark Moth first, which got both Monkey and Hole Up down to red before getting taken out by Hole Up's return. Jira Orb was up next, but it was too strong and got Incel down to red. So I had to switch to Furbait, which somehow tanked an explosion and lived on 2 HP. Kofagon almost took down Freak, but an Aurora Beam took it out first. His Lano was next, but things weren't looking too good for us. Our team was all weak right now. I sent in Hole Up, my second fastest Pokemon, to try and get one return in before getting taken out. Incel came out next and traced its lightning rod, healing off of the incoming discharge and taking it out with a couple of magical leaves. Azor was his last Pokemon, which Incel broke through 2 turns of paralysis while it stupidly used Worry Seed against it and took it out in 2 psychics. While we won, of course Discord mod would have to ruin the fun of the party and take out one of my Pokemon, but since I'm here we have to push forward and properly thank Giovanni, who I overheard talking to the president of the building about 3 Master Balls. Again, presumably for the Gardevoir Lopunny and Vaporeon triple fusion. I think he wanted to have a for-fun battle with me, but Discord mod is an attention whore who couldn't resist joining in on the battle. He opened with Dugchamp and Snorfing. I led with Furbait to try and get a Dazzling Gleam off, but I got focused and paralyzed. I decided I was going to sack Fetish to try and get a better opportunity to switch into Incel. Incel was able to get 2 Calm Minds and Dazzling Gleam to take out Ladowak and the Snorfing, who was really a Poryarc, thanks to Kofagon finishing it off with Hyper Beam. Another Dazzling Gleam took out the Dugchamp, but the Snorfing's Heavy Slam forced me to switch out into Freak, who got forced into the yellow, and Monkey, who got a jump kick off before, sadly, getting taken out. I sent in Freak to try and get a paralysis from its Thunderbolt, and while it did good damage, it wasn't enough and Freak was taken out. Once again, Incel finished off this battle with one last Psychic. As Giovanni and Discord mod left me alone with my team of corpses, I realized this wasn't a surprise party. But all of that didn't matter right now, as I headed back to the Pokemon Center to lay to rest our fallen comrades. Hole Up, who was cooking for so long but finally burned up. Fetish, who I honestly didn't care too much for. Freak, who I forgot to rename this entire time. And the one that hurt the most, Monkey, our beloved starter. With 4 open spaces in our team, I took a step back to catch some encounters I missed. After a bit of grinding, here were the changes of consequence. We got a Gabite on Route 34 that we combined with Vaporeon to make Breedable Cynthia the Vapor Bite, because it's the compatible incarnation of Cynthia herself. The Clink from our fused encounter back on Route 10 evolved into a Clang, and combined with Gardevoir to make 2B the Clanvor. Yes, I know. It's your favorite android anime girl. Settle down, you simps. Oh wait, it's a boy. Our Gift Honedge from way back in Rock Tunnel was now an Aegislash that we combined with Lopunny to make Step On Me the Aegion. And to round out our team a bit more, we added Damimami. With our new team, we head straight into Sabrina's gym. Because of all of Incel's quick saves though, she ended up being over-leveled, so she couldn't participate in this battle. After facing rejection from Erica twice in a row, I considered cutting my losses and going for Sabrina instead. She leads with Mapion, who almost takes out Furbait, so I switched to Breedable Cynthia, who takes it out with a few serves. Hipape is next, but it gets switched out into Mulligan after taking a Dazzling Gleam from Damimami. Mulligan and Hipape almost take out Damimami, leaving her at 12 HP, but Sabrina swapped back into Hipape, let Damimami finish it off. Slakey comes out next and instantly close combats 2B, luckily leaving him at just 3 HP, for him to one-shot it with Dazzling Gleam. Mulligan comes back out again one final time to get finished off by Breedable Cynthia's Surf. With our 6th gym badge, it's time for us to head out towards Cinnabar Island. Given that it's an island, I had to mount my Vaporeon fusion. After riding my Vaporeon fusion for a very long and respectable 3 seconds, we made it to Cinnabar Island. I took a bit of time finding the gym leader in this creepy old mansion, but he refused to leave his furry companion Mewtwo alone. So, I I ended up using Furbait to coax him into getting back into the gym. After getting through his little quiz, we arrive at the king of furries, Blaine. He opts to lead with Probocate, and I decide to lead with Furbait, mainly as a distraction tactic more than anything. I set up a Calm Mind and one-shot it with an Aura Sphere. The incoming Porygon is able to hang on with Sturdy, so I just kept spamming Aura Sphere. Genstar comes in and instantly protects, so the next turn, I one-shot it with Dazzling Gleam. His last Pokemon is Poriwudo, who hangs on with Sturdy but goes down the next turn to an Aura Sphere. With that, we secured our 7th gym badge, and left while Blaine was still frothing at the mouth from our Furbait sweep. Honestly, I couldn't tell you this for sure, but I think he was a fan of that extra bit of meat that Furbait was packing. At this point, we found out about Team Rocket's whereabouts in Mount Ember, and I swear on the lives of our fallen breedmasters that I would avenge them and make them pay for making me think that they were going to let me into their little club or whatever. I rode my Vaporeon fusion once again through the tides and made it to Mount Ember. As I ran through Mount Ember, I took out my anger on the Team Rocket grunts who made me think their hostage situation was a surprise welcome party. To add insult to injury, I found out that not only were they not inviting me to join their hippie cult, they didn't even want to make the ultimate breedable fusion. They just wanted a stupid little Zap Volcuno. This guy has to go down, and I'm gonna make sure to embarrass his ass. Just sit back, relax, and watch me beat him completely damageless, courtesy of an old friend of ours who wants to avenge its fallen comrades. With that out of the way, we promptly left Ember Island, and I decided to take a break from all this drama by doing some fusions. First up is Most Compatible, the Dragoeon from a Dratini we caught on Route 20, because it just looks rounder and more compatible than the average Vaporeon. With a Lickitung we got from Kindle Road, we created Sloppy the Lickitunny because Lord, what that tongue do? From a fusion we encountered from Seafoam Island, we've got Dawson the Purreon. Look up like Shane Dawson Cat if you don't get this one. However, that's not the half of the fusion encounter we're using. By obligation of the title of the run is Muscle Bunny, the Mayani, who could pick you up, throw you down, and you'd beg for more. With this, we head back to Viridian City to teach this non-visionary old man a lesson again. He opens up with Unbi, so I let Incel set up 5 Calm Minds before taking it out with Psychic. Violade comes out only to get one shot by Psychic. Polygella suffers the same fate as Violade. Torgiot goes down the same way, and so does his Starsect. With this, I am fully satisfied with how much I have publicly humiliated Giovanni, and we claim our 8th and final gym badge. As we headed for Victory Road, we are surprisingly met by Discord Mod in front of us for once instead of behind us. He opens with Togegar, which 2B is able to easily take out with 2 mirror shots. Leynaw is sent out next, so I use Breedable Cynthia and just Earth Power it until it faints. Bildactyl is up next, so I let Step On Me handle it by setting up 3 Swords Dances and finishing it off with an Iron Head. Enret comes out next and I stupidly stayed in. Luckily, Step On Me survived its Fire Fang on 8 HP, but I definitely had to switch out, so I used Breedable Cynthia Surf to finish it. Meowsy comes out and gets taken out by a couple of Dragon Claws. S4 is his last Pokemon, and with a few Earth Powers, the battle is over, and we can head to Victory Road and make our way to Indigo Plateau. We snaked our way through the grass, told Step Me to push harder on the boulders, and with that we made it to the Indigo Plateau. Since it'll be our last set of battles, let's do a few more fusions with the leftover encounters. First up, we have Milk Me the Milvor from a milk tank I found at Cerulean Cape. And you honestly can't go wrong, or right I guess, depending on how you look at it, with any of the milk tank fusions. Next up, from a Roselia we caught back on Route 27, we got Hips the Garderade, cause sheesh, respectfully. There's also Thick with 4 C's because it honestly had no business being that much more blessed than normal Lopunny fusions. And the one that we'll be taking into the Elite Four instead of Muscle Mommy is Arch the Vaportails, from a Vulpix I found in Crimson City, who I forgot to name during my entire run of the Elite Four. Before we get into this, I'll just note that my Pokemon will be level 53, and whatever levels they gain during the Elite Four will be fair game. And right before the champion, I'll level up to their lowest level Pokemon and we'll finish this journey. And now, all that's left to find out, is this the most breedable team? First up is Lorelei, the normal type Elite Four. She opens with Stantler of all things, which after a bunch of surfs ended up taking itself out from missing a jump kick. The Chantuff was way too bulky for breedable Cynthia, so I switched out to Furbait, which was honestly just a bad idea. And finally went with 2B to take it out with some flash cannons. Next up was Bliss Slash, which was taken out after a few flamethrowers from Arch. Duskrit comes out and takes out Incel with a payback, which is honestly my bad. After hitting the incoming Dunite with Iron Head to get it into the red and getting 2 King Shield decreases off, I switched to 2B to hit it with a Moonblast to win the battle. The next was the Psychic type Elite Four Bruno, who opened with Wobbler, who stalled me with Protect while breedable Cynthia spammed Crunch until it finally fainted. His next Pokemon was Corby, so I went into Arch, who was able to burn it and get it into half health before I had to switch into Furbait. After getting it low enough from an Aura Sphere, I let it take itself out on burn. After that, he sent out Venabro, who took a few crunches before switching into Rionaldo, to get taken out by a crunch and then getting sent out again, only to get taken out by a crunch itself. His last Pokemon was Latizion, who I tried to paralyze with 2B's Discharge, but it didn't work. From there, I used Step on Me to set up a couple of Sword Stances and take it out with Iron Head. Next up was Oaks X, Agatha, the Poison type Elite Four. She led with Tentibok, who, after taking a few Earth Powers, switches out into Tanplume. This means that I've got to switch too, so I go into Arch to finish it off with Flamethrower. Tentibok gets sent out again, so breedable Cynthia comes out too, and a single Earth Power gets the job done. Morona is up next, but its presumably quad-effective weakness to ground makes it easy pickings for Earth Power. Moobro comes in, dances, then leaves the Starbok, which gets taken out with an Earth Power and Crunch. Moobro comes out again and the battle is finished with that last Earth Power. The final Elite Four member, Lance the Dark-type trainer, is the final obstacle before the champion. He opens with an Umbreon who tanks a Calm Mind boosted Aura Sphere. I chose to stay in because I know that Lance will potion twice, so I want to burn those before switching out into 2B. He also switches out into Umkiss, which works out really well for me as I just keep discharging. This takes out the Umbreon that gets switched back in. Spiraligator comes out afterwards, so I respond with Step on Me, but its Dark Pulses are too much to handle, so I have to swap into breedable Cynthia, which is able to Earth Power twice before I'm forced to switch to 2B, who can Moonblast it to finish it off. Umkiss comes out again, so I keep spamming Moonblast and end up killing the Dark Fable that got switched in. Umkiss comes in again and spams Moonlight a few more times before going down. Duskrai is last, and after a couple of Moonblasts, we defeat Lance. As we walk into the Champions Room, we're met face to face with Discord Mod, whose eyes aren't even focused on me, but on my balls that contain my team. God, that dude is weird. Anyways, it's time to punish him for his Pokemoniality crimes and strip him of his champion title, however the hell he got it. Discord Mod sends out his Uncross first, who let Furbait set up a bunch of Calm Minds before getting one-shotted by Aura Sphere. Whatever Blasphemy Miltei is gets taken out by a single Aura Sphere too. Crawraid takes a Psychic, and now Furbait is on red, so I switch to 2B, who also has Psychic to take it out in a couple of hits. Breklang comes out next, so I send in Arch, who takes it out in a single quad-effective Flamethrower. His starter Landligator comes out, so I just Will-O-Wisp it before sending in breedable Cynthia. After much spamming of Crunch, it finally goes down. Artdilly is up next, so I send in Step on Me, who is able to set up 3 Sword Stances and Iron-Head it to one-shot and beat Discord Mod once and for all. And just like that, our story ends. Discord Mod gets promptly arrested for multiple attempts of Pokemoniality and for rigging the Pokemon League system. We become the new champion with our victorious team of 5. But let's take a moment to remember those who were slain. I guess we never really did answer if this team was the most breedable or not, huh? I mean, it's certainly a strong team, but I guess you'll find out soon enough.